Hello, welcome to November's edition of Community Live. If you've never tuned in before, this is just one of the ways that we try to keep you informed of all the things happening across Brave Nation. We've got an exciting night for you tonight. We've got lots of wonderful guests and some information that we want to share with you. If you are tuning in, you can tune in on Facebook Live or our community network. You can also go on demand and watch this later if you need to do that. We'll be covering lots of different topics tonight, including the growth that we're seeing in this area and how that's impacting the district. We'll also recap our CHS volleyball season this year, and we'll talk to some of the actual players that did a wonderful job on the court for CHS this year. We're going to update you on this the 25-26 calendar process and where we are with that and how you can give input into what our calendar will look like next year. We're going to talk a little bit about our wonderful Mighty Braves marching band and how well they did this season, as well as talking to some of our elementary students from Ellis Elementary with some of the exciting things they're doing through their student council on that campus. We're going to update you a little bit on where things stand with our Braves Cup competition. And then at the end, as always, we'll give you a chance to ask questions live and we'll answer them tonight on the air. If you're uncomfortable putting any questions in the chat, you're always welcome to email us at info@communityisd.org. We'll close out the broadcast with those questions tonight, and you can submit them as we're talking into the chat, and then we'll cover all those questions at the end. Before our first guests join us tonight, I want to talk just a little bit about the growth that we're seeing across the district. I've been here 4 years. I came in 2021. And since that time, the district has grown 90%. When I got here, we had a student enrollment of 2,776, so 2,776 students. And today, we have 5,292 students enrolled in the district. It's been quite a whirlwind as we have adjusted to that growth. We always talk about how excited we are because it gives us an opportunity to impact more and more lives through Community ISD. But with that excitement also comes some challenges. And so as we are looking at all the growth and what it's doing to the district, we want to share some of the things with you about that growth. One of the things that people don't understand is that UIL realigns or reclassifies school districts every 2 years. And so when we sent our numbers in last year, we were reclassified as a 4A district. However, if we sent our numbers in today from our high school, we would be classified as a 5A high school. Because of that and the additional growth that's to come, there is very little chance that we will not be a 5A district in the next realignment. In fact, because of our growth, we could skip 5A Division II and go all the way to a 5A Division I. Just depends on what the numbers look like and how fast that growth comes. And while things can always change and growth is always shifting, and it always depends on which development is developing faster than the other, right now they are comparing Community ISD to Frisco ISD. I-square miles are very similar to Frisco ISD, and our demographers and the experts are telling us that at full build out in the next couple of decades, this area will look like Frisco ISD. So as we're getting ready for that, we have to ask the question, how do we handle that? What do we do? How do we plan for that? How are we prepared for the growth that's to come? Because of all that and because of those big decisions that have to be made, we want community input. So we are putting together a task force, the Task Force for Growth for Community ISD. So please start watching for that. We want to invite anyone that wants to be a part of that, not just for 1 year, but for many years to come, to give us input, to tell us what the community wants from the school district and how they think we should handle the growth that's coming to us. So we're going to be soliciting volunteers to come and join our task force and to help have discussions with the district on how we handle growth the best way that we can and the way that this community wants it to be handled. So keep an eye out for that committee. Keep an eye out for volunteer opportunities to be on that committee. We want your voice heard, we want your input, and we want you to be a partner with us as we work through the growth that's coming to our district. Now let's jump in and talk to our first guest that we have with us tonight. So excited, loved watching this team this year during the season. Coach, tell us a little bit about yourself. This is your first year in Community ISD. We're so excited to have you here. So that everybody that's watching can get to know you, tell us a little bit about you and your career. Who are you, Coach Binion?
Yeah, so I actually started my career at a private school while I was still in college and just did some part-time coaching there and filled a different role and was more on the football side of things, but was involved with girls basketball and decided that girls basketball was what I wanted to chase at the time, and then was hired at a small West Texas town district, Loop ISD, where I was the assistant volleyball coach and then the head girls basketball coach. And then just because of some moving around, I ended up becoming the head volleyball coach and the head girls basketball coach. And that's kind of whenever I got my taste in volleyball and just kind of fell in love with the sport and fell in love with the movement of it and the complexity of it and just the strategy side of it. And so got involved with volleyball and just kind of dove in. And then me and my wife felt like the Lord was telling us it was time to move. And so I started to search and community came up and applied. And just the way that the cards fell, we really felt like God was calling us here to Community ISD. And so after some prayer and thought, me and my wife decided that we would take that job. And I would say that God has just lined up everything to go perfectly well for us as I've gotten to coach these girls and just how well this season went.
Amazing, amazing. What attracted you to community? What was it about community that made you think that might be the place I'm supposed to be?
Yes. So growing up in a small town, it was definitely a culture shock, just the size of it, of community. And but everybody that we talked to, everybody that I interviewed with, and everybody that we asked questions to, it was just the thing that kept coming up was a small town feel with big town numbers. And that really drew us to what community was just as a whole. And the traits of a brave were really important to us. And just that was the foundation of the things that were taught to our students here.
Right. Awesome. We're so glad that you're here.
Thank you.
It was a fun season to watch.
Yes,
Watched
ma'am.
a lot of great talent on the floor, a lot of great plays out there and things going on. You brought a couple people here with you tonight.
Yes.
Introduce us to these two young ladies that we have here and tell us a little bit about them.
Yes, so these are two of my seniors. I have Evie Connor and McKenna Bressler. Evie was our right side hitter and Kenna was our libero. And so libero just kind of being everywhere on the court. And just from day one, I knew she was going to be helpful for us just because of how fast she moves. People see her and don't think there's going to be a whole lot of speed, but there is, and she's quick and gets underneath everything somehow. And then Evie was just a huge role, not only just on her athletic ability, but just ability to lead on the court and kind of keep us together as a team, but also just brought a ton of energy and just excitement and obviously a smile to everything that we did. So these two were vitally important to what we accomplished this season for sure.
Awesome. Ladies, will y'all tell us a little bit about the position you play, how important those positions are, and then how did you get involved with volleyball? Why is volleyball your sport?
So I started playing volleyball in 7th grade, and I was so tiny, and I was just not like, oh gosh. I first tried out for volleyball, and it was just something new other than my main sport, softball. And volleyball was like another sport to get me away from, school and getting to know new girls and just finding new friendships.
Awesome.
And now I'm a senior now, and I love the game. And
Good. Good. So tell us about your position.
So libero is always on the court, and
Tell us about you moving in and out and around and all over the place, right?
yes. So Oh my gosh.
It's okay. You're
oh my gosh.
Let's talk about your like coverage and stuff like that.
Coverage is a big thing to volleyball. Oh my gosh, this is so bad.
You're doing fine.
Oh gosh.
Do you like your position?
Yes, I do. I love my position, and I cover all the hitters on the court, and
Okay. We'll come back, okay? Take a deep breath. It's going to be okay.
For me, I started volleyball in 6th grade, and before that, I really didn't like sports. I really never really played, and I kind of went to softball, but it just wasn't really for me. In 6th grade, I started playing volleyball, and I just like fell in love with it. And then I joined club, and I just started playing so much and practicing, and it just kind of became like my sport that I just brought me peace. And so, and being a right side, I feel like in the front row, right side, like, explain it. We aren't always like considered like the best hitters, but we always like just have fun. I've always had fun like playing. I used to play outside a lot, but just I don't know. I like right side. And then Kenna and I have got really close throughout this volleyball season because we're both just seniors and we've just enjoyed, and I feel like both of us just, since it was our last year, we just try to bring the most energy that we could on the court, and we just try to play and just have fun. And so I really love playing the season with her.
Good. Y'all did an awesome job.
Thank you.
It was really fun. Y'all did a great job. You could tell the leadership that was on the court from the seniors. Coach, take us through the season. Recap the season for us. How'd that go?
It was interesting, to say the least. So we started off with tryouts with having 67 girls come and show up. Yeah, which is great numbers. Was a little overwhelming to me, but I knew just from the get-go that having those numbers meant that I got a lot of talent to choose from. And so going through tryouts, we knocked that all the way down to 34 girls and chose those 34 girls. I thought that it was important to stack our season with tough tournaments and tough games in the beginning, simply because we are growing in size, and eventually we will be at those 5A numbers, and then in the long term we'll be at the 6A level. And so I thought that it was important to go compete against those schools. And so tournaments were rough, and they were we did well, we were successful. It just took realizing that we were going to have to compete at a different level. But I knew early on, I remember telling my assistant coach that just watching the girls practice, I told her, I said, these girls are about to make me look a lot better than I am. But really it's just the talent and the leadership that was on the floor really like led our season well. And then halfway through the season, we lost one of our setters to an injury, and that kind of threw a wrench at us pretty hard. And so we had to switch to a different offensive scheme. And but the facing that adversity and like having to mature going through that, I think, was super important to the success that we had later on when we found some more adversity. And so we kind of picked it back up and started having a little bit of a win streak, and went undefeated at home for a good deal of time. And then we started district play, and the first half was a little tough. We dropped a couple of games that we felt like we shouldn't have, but then turned around in the second half of the season and really lit it up and finished well, getting a berth into the bi-district round, and just kind of playing at a different level, I felt like. And so it was just a long season. We played 42 matches total. Wow. And so it's long, and it was tough, but I think we just grew a lot. We only had 4 seniors, and so like as much as we're going to miss them this season, I think really helped us propel into what next season will look like as well.
Awesome. So went back to the playoffs this year.
Yes, ma'am.
Great accomplishments. We also won 6 additional games than we won last year. So we're growing, we're getting better. That's always what we're looking to do, is just continue reaching for that next step. And so I definitely think we're on that path. Girls, if you look back over the season, what was your favorite part? What's your favorite memory from the season?
My favorite memory is probably when we would have like before our game, we would be in the locker room and we would all just jam out to music, getting pumped before the game. We would have the lights off and we would get in a big circle and just dance and until we're out of breath, basically.
Yeah, that was probably one of my favorite parts of the season too. Just that, and just winning a game. Like after the games, we all got on the bus, cheering in the locker room, just cheering the whole way home on the bus. Like just having those memories, like they'll just last a lifetime. They're so much fun.
Great friends, great friendship. Sounds like a lot of bonding. between the
Yes.
teams.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I think tonight we have an announcement to make. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. Well, Coach, tell us about our all-district honors.
We got a lot of all district honors. So the first one is Newcomer of the Year was Audrey Weller. Had a fantastic year leading us as our main setter through district, and just I know that she's going to be a huge piece to what we accomplish. We also had 3 first team nominations. The first was Sydney Jones. Amazing outside hitter. She is coming off of an ACL injury last year, and so to see her be able to bounce back and play the way that she did and just the strength that she has and the athleticism that she has was fun. And so Sydney's going to be a big part of what we do next year as well. The next first team all district we have was Layla Bland. Layla was huge for us just as a leader. She ended up playing 6 positions all the way around. Blocked for us, hit for us, served really well, and just was kind of a quiet rock for everybody to lean on when things got tough. Our next first team all district was McKenna Bressler, our libero.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Obviously played lights out, and early on in the season I had a conversation with the seniors and just told them that they're going to have to put it all out on the court, that this is the last time that they got to do this with this group, and I think that these 2 seniors and really just all 4 seniors really put that to work.
Good.
So then our second team all district, the first one is Kaylin Christian, another just absolute unit and leader for us. Played really well in the front row, but then also when she had to fill in roles on the back, she did a great job there as well. Kaylin will be a big piece to what we do in the future also. The next second team is Jordan Collins. Again, just a good back row rock for us to lean on and to pass well and then lead in a more vocal way than some of the other players, which is great. And then our last second team all district is Adeline Kinsler. Another just big outside heavy hitter for us that would absolutely rocket the ball, but was a very good young leader for us and just did a great job putting things together on the court for us. And then our honorable mention all districts were Evelyn Connor, Samantha Fitzpatrick, and Sophia Vargas, which again, just having Evie as a senior and Samantha as a senior was just huge for us in the leadership that they kind of brought to what we did. And so, yeah, awesome. And then our academic all-district list is long, and I love it. So Emma Anderson, Layla Bland, Kaylin Christian, Evelyn Connor, Parker Durst, Samantha Fitzpatrick, Sydney Jones, Adeline Kinsler, Mary Lane, Sophia Vargas, and Audrey Weller. So that's 11 out of our 14, which is almost 80%. And I told them at the beginning of the year that that's what I wanted. I wanted 80% of our girls to be on the academic all-district list, and so we filled that, and that was a huge goal for me.
That is great. That is great. So exciting to hear about your plans for the future and coming up. Ladies, tell us what's next for you. I know graduation is coming, but that's in May. What's between now and that graduation time?
So I'm going to softball now.
Okay.
Yeah, and
What position do you play in softball?
center field.
Okay.
Yes. And I've been playing since I was 6 years old, 7. It's a big part of my life, and I've made so many memories with that team.
Well, we're going to be watching for you and cheering you on the softball field. Okay.
For me, in December, I will be getting out of athletics, but that's just because I have a class that I need to finish, and I'm really excited about it. I'm just going to go get a job and just work and save up money for college, and
That's wonderful.
Yeah, so I can just buy stuff on my own and don't have to use my parents' card.
I love that. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Very mature of you. We'll be encouraging you and praying for you and supporting you as you do that. Get
Thank
ready.
you.
Get ready for that next step. We want
Yes.
you both to be very successful in all that you do. Coach Binion, what does your off season look like as you're getting ready for next season, preparing for the next season? What does it look like?
So it's going to be, I'm just going to say, like, we're going to get in the lab is like what I want to say to our girls all the time is we've got work to do. And we took a little bit of a break, but now we're getting in the weight room and building muscle, building our conditioning, building our speed, because I know that we're going to do special things next year, and that starts now. And so it's going to be work, and it's going to be hard, but I want to do that so that we can let that pay off for us in the future.
Great. Conditioning is important. That off-season
Yes.
stuff really happens. Ladies, I'd like to know what you would say to, there's some young ladies out there watching tonight, looking up to you and thinking, I want to be like them. What would you say to encourage them if they're interested in being on a volleyball team?
Oh, I would say that just to have fun. Like, the more fun you have when you try out, the better you play, and then the better team you'll make, and you'll just have more fun. And take it serious, but don't take it too serious to the point where it just like ruins you, because you want to have fun. Because when I look back, I don't look at like the losses that we had. I just look at the wins and the fun memories that I made with all the girls on the team. So it's just really important to have fun and focus on what you do and work out what you do to be like your best, to your best ability.
Yes, you would make a lot of new friendships, and just having the group of girls, throughout this like year. Like if you don't have that many friends, you can always make new ones with the volleyball team, and it's just becomes family. Mm-hmm. And just have fun.
Great. That's some great advice. I appreciate that. Coach, what would you say to those young ladies out there that want to be on your team one day, that want to be a Lady Brave out on that volleyball court? So what would you say to them?
Work hard and just put yourself in the position to be successful, but also, like these girls are saying, just have fun with this sport. Oftentimes we take away from the fun of it to be more competitive, to be more serious, but when it all comes down to it, you play because it's fun. We play because it's fun. I coach because it's fun. And so once you take the fun out of that, it's no longer a passion of yours. And so just have fun, enjoy the sport, absorb every piece of information that you can, get in the gym, find a club, find somebody to go outside and pepper with, like whatever it may be. Just find a way to get your hands on a volleyball and be playing, and then come try out and be a part of something great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Ladies, thank you for representing the district the way that you did. Such class on the court, something we can really be proud of as a district, and how you won and how you lost. And we're really proud of that, and we appreciate how you represented this district. Coach, we are super excited that you are here. I know you put in a lot of hours and a lot of planning and a lot of sweat and tears this season, and we know that you're getting ready for next season as well. You are very much appreciated by the district, and we are here cheering you on, supporting you, anything we can do to help with the program. You let us know. Thank you for being here. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. It's always a good night to highlight some of the great things that are happening in the district, get the word out there of great ways to be involved. So we're going to transition, but I'm going to ask you guys to stick around in case they have some questions at the end that I don't know the answer to. You guys can answer those questions for them. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all too. So as we transition to our next guest, I want to just quickly talk to you a little bit about the calendar process and where we are on that. Believe it or not, we're just in November, and we got here very quickly, but we are already looking at how we develop our calendar for next year. So I want to tell you a little bit about what we do with that. So we have a group of people that come together, and Melanie Cottongame, one of our directors, and Cooper Welch, one of our other directors, they sit down and they take all the recent laws that we have. They look at all the requirements that are put on us by the state and the minutes that we're required to get for the year. And then they develop options for us to look at. Those options are then taken to various different committees, and we talk to different people, different stakeholders. And so we showed them all of those 5 options, and we let our Community for Community parent group, our Lacona Joe leader student group, our senior staff, our tribe time, our principals. We really tried to just get different input. Our superintendent input committee, which is the teachers, took it back to their faculties, and tried to get different input on which calendars needed to go out. So we actually have narrowed that down to 2 final calendars, and those are going to be released tonight as a survey for all parents, students, 5th grade and above, and staff members to vote. We'll leave that survey open until we get to January, and then we will take the results of that survey and we will make a recommendation to our school board, and our school board will adopt a calendar at our January board meeting. So that survey will be coming out. Everybody look for that survey. Your input is very important. We want your voice. We want our calendar to be something that we all agree with. Of course, we can't please every single person in the district, but we are doing our very best to get as much input from our people. The survey is actually going in the chat right now. So if you see that in our chat, please take a look at that and give us some feedback and some input. That will be open for several weeks. And then we'll poll that the results of that and decide which one is going to be our recommendation to our school board. If you have questions, don't be afraid to ask questions in our chat tonight or to send us an email about that. That survey is going to close on January the 6th, so it'll give us some time to get it ready to talk to the board about it. So now we're going to transition. We've switched people in our chairs, so we're behind the scenes doing some magic act there and getting some new people in our chairs. So tonight we have Mr. Stevenson here talking to us, and we're going to talk a little bit about our Mighty Braves band. What an impressive marching season we had. It always amazes me every year the shows get a little bit more extravagant and more things happening on that field, and every year I'm very amazed at the talent that we have in the band and the things that we do in that little bit of time that we have to show off our talent. So thank you so much for being here. Mr. Stevenson, tell us a little bit about you, who you are, your career, how you got here, and then why you came to community.
This is my 21st year of education. I've actually been a head director every year but 2 years. My first 2 years were assistant, and then I've been a head director ever since, and just kind of gone through different programs and worked my way up through to this 4A level. And it's really exciting to be here. This is my second year here in community. I'm so proud of this band and the things they've done this year, and just it's an honor to be here and work with them. Like you said, they were just doing crazy things on the field. They never stopped moving, and we invested a lot into making sure we had a world-class designer and program this year, and I think it definitely took our game to a new level. And they accomplished some great things. And we're really proud of them.
Very proud of them. What attracted you? You've been here 2 years. What was it about community that made you want to come here?
The personal connection with the previous director, the reputation developed of the growth of the band and what they had done was exciting, and it still is exciting. It was basically it. And the community is growing at a fast rate, and so there's lots of opportunity.
Sure.
And so, that was definitely the main points that made me want to be here, for sure.
All right. Well, you brought some young ladies with you tonight who look beautiful, might I say, and we're so glad that you all have joined us tonight. Introduce us to these young ladies, and let's find out some information about them.
Absolutely. This is 2 of our 3 drum majors. Cam McCrory's not here, but we have Ronsa Frias-Treviso over here. And this is Alexis Freeman. And they both did an amazing job with our show this year. We had them do all sorts of things. They weren't just doing drum major stuff. They actually did a lot of choreography and were incorporated into the story of the show. And did an amazing job as leaders, not just from conducting and teaching music and stuff to the kids, but organizing the band hall, making sure speakers were in the right place at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and like just countless things that they help behind the scenes. Drum majors at this level truly are like an extension of the band staff and do so much to help us out. And we really do appreciate everything they do.
Shows real maturity for all the things that they're responsible for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies, would y'all introduce us as far as telling us about how long you've been in band? What instrument did you play before you were drum major? Which I'm sure you still play that instrument, but I mean, what instrument do you play? And then a little bit about the role of the drum major or drum majors.
All right, I'll start it off.
Okay.
So you asked the instrument, right?
Right.
I played clarinet, and I've been in marching band for 5 years. I started my 8th grade year. I've been in band since 6th grade, which is a lot.
Yes, it is a lot.
And I mean, being a drum major, it's not about conducting, it's about the leadership role. One thing that Mr. Stevenson told us is like, if you raise your hand up, you usually put it like to the center. You have to like reach out and try your best that time. I think a drum major is that person that does their best every single time, not the second time, the first time. Definitely having that responsibility set, having those communication skills to take care of problems. You know, staff can't take care of everything all the time. And that's what I personally think about it.
So more about leading
Yeah.
by solving problems, not just telling people what to do, right?
Oh, definitely. Leadership is not just like, do this, do that.
That's great. What a mature answer. I'm so impressed.
I've been in band for since 6th grade, but I've marched. I use that term very loosely. I'm a percussionist, so I was in the front ensemble
Okay.
for my first 2 years, but I've been in marching band for 5, and I'm, as I've said, percussion. So I did drumline, done everything, and being a drum major to me is just representing. You are quite literally 150 people.
Yeah. Yeah. You're the leader. You're the one that's standing up there making sure it all goes right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, Mr. Stevenson, recap the marching season. There were some great successes that we have. Recap for us kind of how that all progressed.
Well, I mean, we had the most extensive band camp that we've had since, since I've been here 2 years, but like, I think since they've ever been here. As we mentioned, the 5A talk earlier on, we've definitely had a 5A mindset since I've gotten here about like how we're going to approach the program, and that starts with our amazing staff at the middle school have done, and our band boosters who are literally meeting right now, who've done an amazing job to make sure that we have the funding. I know they might be watching, but they've done an amazing job putting together the resources we need to do things, because the district can't do everything in this kind of environment. So it takes a community effort for sure to put everything together, and so it just started with a really, really competitive, engaging band camp where we were getting there at like 7 in the morning, leaving it at like 6 p.m.
13-hour days.
Yeah, they were big day hours.
13 hours.
Yeah, they're a national band camp. And we had to adjust to the new guidelines from UIL and heat and stuff. So we had some adjustment there we had to get used to. But it really made us commit to a lot of musical growth inside, which was a great thing for us. Because by the time we were able to get on the field and do the things, all those things were in place, and so that was really good. And I feel like as in a musicianship way, just conducting my band this morning, I was like, wow, they've really grown so much. It's just amazing what they can do now. But we did that, and it went well, and then started football season, and just started piecing together the show, and we quickly figured out, wow, this program's gonna be something. And so. There was definitely days where like, can they really march in syncopation? Doing Hemiola all over the place, doing La Fiesta Mexicana, which is a grade 5 on the UIL list, and so it's really challenging to play music off the beat and march on the beat at the same time and be in step and at various tempos and 3/4 and all these things, and so we just slowly started piecing things together and bringing in help along the way as far as clinicians and stuff like that. And next thing you know, we were at competition season. And just like Coach was mentioning, going to harder contests. We always are going to try to go to the Melissa contest. It's more like a Bands of America kind of contest, like 5A, 6A environment. So we went there, lots of Frisco schools and stuff like that. And we also went to Whitesboro. We actually did 2 contests in one day, our first contest.
Wow.
So that was a busy day. But I think it paid off. Gave us a chance to really get the season going. And we were able to make finals for every contest except for our very first one, that Melissa contest. which was a great accomplishment for our band, and got to really be there with a lot of very competitive bands, and just went throughout the season, started progressing, things started locking in, and it got really exciting at the end for sure as we went on to area and made finals, and we're just so close to making state this time, and it was just super exciting to see their growth as individuals through the process, and their excitement about what they were doing, and see the potential get there. If I had told the kids, I told the kids this, I was like, if I had imagined that we would have beat a 5A state marching contest band from the previous year, and a 4A state marching contest band from the previous year, and we would not have made state marching contests, I would have been like, all right, there's no way. Right. But like, we were just in a super competitive area, but they were really close to getting there this time, and it makes us really excited for the future. There's lots of buzz already amongst the kids about the next season, and they're ready for another try. And so, yeah, we're just really thrilled with what they did this year, and I'm really proud of these kids and all of our seniors, especially. We had a big group of 26 seniors this year.
Wow.
And so we had a lot of great leadership.
You have a lot of younger ones coming up from the
We
other
do. We have, I think it's around 70 potential freshmen for next year.
Wow.
Which would be a nice influx into our
Yes, absolutely.
I think there's around, we counted this morning, like around 500 kids involved in middle school programs right now from 6th to 8th grade. So that'll definitely be a nice injection to our program in the future years, and it's going to help when we need those 5A numbers going forward and
continue
stuff.
To grow. And
Absolutely,
that's amazing. We're so excited. Now they reference October as Bandtober, and why is that?
It's because we're really busy. Like those marching band days when you're talking about prelims and finals formats are all day events. Luckily, we're a bigger school than most of the contests we go to right now until we switch into more of a Bands of America format, which means we go later in the day, so we don't usually have to get there really early in the morning. Now, Melissa, we were one of the first bands to perform because most of those bands were 6As and 5As, wow. And then us little 4As at the beginning. And so, but that it really means that, like, I think, what was the earliest I had y'all call for, like, getting warmed up for contest day? Like 5 a.m.? Yeah. I think that was about the earliest we had this season. So
5 a.m.
So, and getting home at like 1 or 2 a.m. Wow. So those contest days can literally be like 24-hour events. Yeah. But I think they look back on the travel days and they're like, some of the fun times of doing it. I mean, our parents go full out. Our parents are so amazing.
They are amazing, and they work sometimes just as hard as the kids are, moving all that stuff on and off the field, and
sometimes I think even harder.
Yeah.
Elisa Hell leads a great booster organization, and those guys tug and push things everywhere and build props. I mean, we had both of our panel carts die during the season, and within a week, Mr. Viacon, one of our boosters, had rebuilt carts, welded them, put them together for the next contest, and we were ready to go. And he helped build those cool little skulls we had in the background and everything like that. And a lot of parents. One day I came out and there was like 6 parents in the shop working on props, and I was just like, wow.
That's great.
Just an awesome
great
support
to have
system.
that support,
Yes,
and to have that involvement. It's great. Ladies, can y'all tell us what was your favorite memory of this past marching season?
Well, my favorite memory was actually the last memory that I had.
Okay.
That it was seeing all of these future freshmen, all of these sophomores going up to me and saying, "You did amazing, but next year I want you to come and see because we're making it a state." You know?
Yeah.
And so it really fills my heart because all I really wanted ever since I was in middle school was to reach a position that would influence people. As an only child, I can't really influence my siblings because I don't have any. But I know I can influence those around me, and it's really meaningful to have those people come up to me and actually having an effect in this program.
That's amazing. And I'm so happy to hear that you realize what an impact you're making on the younger ones coming up through the program. What a great memory. That's awesome. What was your favorite memory?
All of it, honestly.
All of it.
I think being a drum major has really brought me and Aranza closer to each other because we've been friends since middle school, but like 13-hour days, and most of it was spent in a room with just each other. So that really brought us together. And I'm just making that impact, as Aranza said, on so many different people. But aside from the connection or the more sentimental.
Right.
I really liked drum major retreat, where we stand, they announce awards, we do our salute, and then we accept our award. I really enjoyed that.
That's fun. So some things you'll never forget.
Yes.
And probably some friendships that you will never forget, some things that'll last a lifetime. So what would be something you would tell those younger students out there that are watching and they're saying, hey, I might want to be in band? Would you say, yes, go for it? What would be some advice you would give to people who might want to be in band one day?
I mean, band is definitely something that will take up a lot of time. And if you're not ready for that commitment, then you're not ready for band.
Right.
You have to be dedicated. You have to be a person that keeps pushing for the best. I like the middle schoolers right now, the whole entire page of scales, which is like a little warm-up thing that's usually follows you for a lifetime. You know how you run
Yes.
before a marathon?
Yes.
Like warm up, stretch.
You have to
Those
have
are our
that
stretches.
all the time. Yeah.
All these middle schoolers know that from memory, and that's really impressive. I mean, it's something that you can't really expect, that you have to keep growing, adding on from your musicianship to your leadership skills if you really want that position. You just have to be dedicated. That's all I'm saying. And that dedication will lead you a really long way, and it accomplishes everything. I'm really happy with the work I did, even though we didn't make it a state. But I know we will because of that leadership block that we put in.
And you were so close.
We'll be there soon, sooner or later.
Just work hard and be you. There's a spot for everyone.
Yeah.
There's a spot for everyone.
Yeah.
But also know your music. That's the
Don't try to
biggest thing.
fake it through that, right?
Don't fake that. Because the more people we have, the better we do, usually.
That's true.
And join percussion.
Okay.
Join percussion.
Good. Okay, Mr. Stevenson, is there any hints you can give us as to what next year's show might look like or be about, or just any kind of little hint you can tell us?
It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I have no idea what it's going to be. But we're in the process actually of scheduling design meetings. Jerry Miller, who's the director of 100% Coppell ISD, is our program coordinator, and he did an outstanding job. We had Steve Bento writing music from the Blue Devils, which is like a world championship drum corps, and our drill was by the world championship drum corps this year, was written by that guy, and we had interaction with all these people throughout the season. Zach Santos, who was an assistant director with Vista Ridge High School, an amazing man, and Leander, he came in, and I think might have been the best clinician we've ever had. As part of our design team, he did all of our choreography, and it was really cool to have all the components together for the kids, and I think they learned a lot. I had never heard of a sit roll until this year, until Zach Santos taught us all this year, and then he showed me what we were going to do, and I was like, we're going to get all 100 kids to do that at the same time. You're crazy. But they did it. They totally did it, and they learned it, and it's just such an impressive thing, and it's just so crazy to me to see what's happened to the activity of band from the time I started, where there was almost no choreography, visual stuff happening, and now it's like a Broadway musical.
It is amazing. There's so much happening on the field at one time. It's just amazing to watch. Such an entertaining thing. Okay, well, I'm gonna keep pressing you because I just want a hint as you're developing that, because I'm always so surprised and impressed that first night you start rolling it out there, and you see the little props coming around, and you know it's going to be something about this or that, and so we're so excited. Thank you so much for everything you're doing with the band. We continue to grow. We continue to get better. We continue to be more and more impressive on the field. Thank you for that. Thank you for the time and the energy you put into our kids. We appreciate that from you as a director. Ladies, thank y'all for representing the district. Thank you for being leaders in your program, leading other people, and like you said, for having an impact on those kids that are coming up. You've kind of set a legacy for the expectations, and that's something to really be proud of. So thank you so much for coming tonight and talking to me. Thank you for all that you've done, and we're looking forward to great things for next year. So thank you for being there. We're going to transition again. And as we transition, we want to just kind of talk to you a little bit about where our Braves Cup is. Now, if you don't know about the Braves Cup, then you've not been listening to some of our announcement. This year is the first year we have created a competition between our two middle schools. We've never had two middle schools before, and so this year, with having two middle schools in our district, we created a competition, and we have a Braves Cup that is going to go to the winning middle school of the year after we do all of our competitions. And so the competitions are not just athletic competitions, but competitions through food drives and donations and just the things that we have that both districts both campuses are participating during the year, UIL, academics, all of those things are going to be used to determine who gets to take home the Brave Cup this year. Right now, we stand with Edge leading the Brave Cup competition by 9.6 points. It is actually 25.8 to 16.2. The next time we will add points to the board will be this week, as we have 8 separate games this week for basketball between the 7th and the 8th graders at Edge and Trails. And so there's a total of 24 points that can be won this week. And so we are anxiously awaiting to see if Trails is going to move back towards the lead or if Edge is going to edge them out and move closer to taking this Braves Cup home. And so holding this Braves Cup tonight, this is what actually will go to the winning middle school this year. Not only will they get to hold this trophy for a year until we figure out who's next year's winner, but they also have those all-important bragging rights for the whole year on which middle school came out on top with our Braves Cup competition. So look for updates on that after Thursday's basketball game when we will update who's in the lead. Tonight, our next guest, again, we've switched chairs and we have new guests sitting in our chairs with us tonight. We are here to talk to the Ellis Student Council, right? Yes, ma'am. All right. So first, we have Mrs. Sarles, who is the sponsor of the Student Council, also an amazing teacher at Ellis Elementary. In fact, I think I just talked to you this week and awarded you a recognition in the district. So Ms. Sarles was recognized as being a blue and gold standard teacher in the district because of the amazing things she does in her classroom and the amazing way she relates to our students and helps them, has an impact on their lives every day. So excited that she's here tonight so we can brag on her a little bit more, but also so we can hear what amazing things are happening at Ellis Elementary. So, Ms. Sarles, before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, your career, how you ended up in community, and what you do for us?
Well, this is my 13th year in education. I started in Wiley. I was in Wiley for 10 years at the same school for the majority of them. And I came out to community, and this is my 3rd year in community.
Okay.
I've lived in this area for 8 years, and so when my son started kindergarten, I felt like it was a good time. I wanted him to come to the schools in which he lives in, and I wanted to be a part of the growth here in community, and I'm excited for it. So it's funny, and you mentioned Frisco, because I went through most of my middle school and high school in Frisco.
Okay.
So I experienced that growth.
Yeah.
During all the crazy, I was part of a lot of the Wiley's growth, so I'm excited just to see what I can do and be a part of here. And so I'm super excited. I love that I had the opportunity of opening a new school. Mm-hmm. So it's I love Ellis. It's a great building. It's a beautiful building, and we have some great teachers there. So
wonderful. You brought some students with you.
I have
didn't
a couple of great kiddos.
Tell us
here.
about them.
Well, we have 2 of them here. We have one of our 4th grade representatives. It's Grayson Murphy, and he is an amazing leader on our campus in a lot of the different ways. And we have Miss Ireland Bradley, and she is actually our student council president.
Oh,
and so
very good leadership.
And both of them are actively involved in our UAL, and we have competition coming up next month, and they both work hard through all of these things at extracurriculars. So I'm excited for them.
Great. So tell me, as a staff member,
Yes.
how do you get involved with student council? What is your role in student council?
I'm just one of the teacher sponsors and mentors for the whole program, and so I know that was something that was on our principal's, Ms. Kinch's heart, is just making sure that we established a little bit more of our student involvement and leadership on campus. And so I wanted to take part. We have a couple other teacher sponsors and mentors on the campus, and they're just as amazing. And anyway, we held an application process for those that wanted to be on the student council. We had about 50 applicants, and we weren't really sure where to start, but we started with 10 fourth graders and 10 fifth graders, and we have a lot of leadership happening there, and they're
Great.
a lot of rules that we've dictated out there, and they're doing a good job with it.
Good. So let's meet these guys and hear a little bit about from them. Why don't you guys tell me your name again, what grade you're in, and why did you want to be on the student council?
My name's Grayson Murphy, and I'm in fourth grade. I wanted to be in the student council because I just really wanted to show that I'm a leader in some different ways too, and make a difference in Ellis.
Awesome. Awesome.
My name is Ireland Bradley, and I'm in 5th grade, and I wanted to positively encourage everybody to use the traits of a brave. And
What a wonderful answer. You guys are so mature. I'm so impressed with you. What do you think about Ellis? Ellis a pretty good place?
Yes,
what
ma'am.
makes Ellis awesome?
It's a big school, and it's nice.
Nice school, very nice building, brand new, right? You have some amazing teachers over there
Yes, ma'am.
and some amazing kids.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you like the other kids that are on the student council? Are you getting closer to them and kind of bonding with them as a team?
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. And getting to do some leadership things. What are some things, your favorite thing that y'all have done as a student council this year?
Well, you want to go first? We haven't really done anything yet. We're gonna plan to do a canned food drive.
A food drive. Tell me about that.
We're gonna whoever gets the most cans, and if fourth grade got the most cans, they would have a popcorn PJ plushie party, where you get to bring your PJs and have popcorn and.
That sounds fun. So each grade level is going to compete against the other grade levels, and whichever grade level
ma'am.
gets. Great. So what goals do you have, Miss President of the Student Council?
I want everybody to feel safe at Ellis, and
Do you want to help lead that charge? What about the food drive itself? How much food are y'all wanting to collect?
Are you asking me or the kids?
Do they know? They don't know?
We just want to get as much as we can. The community outreach is important to us, and so we want to do what we can to help and serve our community and make sure our people are taken care of. So we have partnered with the First Baptist Church of Josephine. They have their own food pantry, and so they've provided a list of items that are most needed. I know right now a lot of that, what their supplies have been depleted for the most part for Thanksgiving, so we want to step up and help those around us for the Christmas season.
So if there are people out there watching tonight that would love to get involved or would like to help sponsor or support your canned food drive, how can they do that?
Bring it up to our Ellis Elementary, and if you can put a specific grade level on there, because like Grayson said, we have a competition going, and so that's kind of one of our incentives to bring in as much as we can to the community. But you can definitely drop it off at the front office. If you have a specific grade level you're privy to, then you can go ahead and let them know that you want to donate to that grade level. But
Well, what grade level would you guys think they should say when they bring their food if they want to come donate food?
5th grade.
she was quick with
Grayson,
that.
do you agree with that? They should say 5th grade? Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe 4th grade?
Yeah.
I mean,
So
I think you
5th
would
grade
want
or
your
4th
class.
grade, that would be the one y'all would want them to say if they brought food?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
No? Okay. Okay.
Ireland definitely wants 5th grade up there.
You want to win, right? I don't blame you.
We also have put signs up to remind people. We're gonna put posters up.
That you brought some signs. Hold those signs up so everybody can see what you guys made. Those are amazing. Those look great. Those are awesome.
These are a few signs that another person
We
made.
love the fact that you guys are taking leadership roles and that you're giving a voice and input to your campus and that you want to be leaders. That is so impressive. And both of you seem like very mature leaders for your peers. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that you're stepping out and doing good things for that campus. Ms. Charles, thank you for what you do. Thank you for going above and beyond. You don't have to be the student council sponsor. And so knowing that you always want to do whatever it takes to support our students and to be the very best for our students means a lot. So thank you so much for that. We're going to be watching. I'm going to come over and see who wins the canned food drive, and I might even bring a few cans myself.
You can donate it to third grade because I also want to be
third
part
grade.
of this
You want to win
plushy
too.
potato popcorn.
Okay, so I've got to bring enough for
Yeah.
third grade, fourth grade, and
Miss
fifth
Charles's
grade.
class, yeah.
Okay,
Especially
all
for
right.
Skidmore schools.
I will be working on that. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. Thank you for coming and sitting through and listening and sharing some stuff. I'm going to ask that you stick around in case there's some questions
Absolutely.
about food drive. And we will be to the questions in just a few minutes. What I want to do right now is transition just a little bit to talk to you about legislative priorities. So for those of you that don't know, our Texas legislature will open a new session, the 89th legislative session, on January the 14th. And at that time, there's going to be a lot of things happening. I would say this is probably one of the most important legislative sessions for public education that I have seen in my 31 years of education. And so there's several priorities that are going to be happening during that legislative session. I just want to bring about a few of those that are out there. The number one thing that is out there for public schools right now is for school funding. And if you've seen any of the political things that are happening across the state, is that public school funding was kind of held back last year because of a controversy about getting vouchers passed. And so this year, the big push with all of the educators, public school educators, is the motto that we fund schools first. And so we are asking that our legislators, when they go down to Austin in January, that before they do anything else, before they argue about any bills or they go and take care of anything else, they stop and they pass a bill that will fund public schools. Our public schools basic allotment has not been increased since 2019, and we all know that you can go to the grocery store and see that prices have changed since 2019. And so there's definitely a need for public schools to have an increase in school funding. We've been promised by the governor and the lieutenant governor that that's coming, and that it's coming first in the legislative session. And so I just encourage all of you as community members to make sure that your legislative representatives know that you want schools funded first. The next priority that we are part of a behavior coalition where we are trying to get some help for our school teachers, our paraprofessionals, and the people who work on our campuses with our students every day, with some of the behaviors that we are starting to see on our campuses. We are seeing some behaviors that are that we've not had to deal with before, that we need help in dealing with. By the time we got to October of this year, we had already had over 25 of our teachers or our instructional staff who had been either hit, spit on, or aggressively attacked by students' behaviors in our district. And so we are asking for our legislators to give us some flexibility, to give us some help in helping our students to deal with those behaviors and giving us some training and some more staff members to be able to help with our students in those classrooms. So any questions you have about that behavior coalition, we're in with about 40 other districts in the state right now who are working with our legislators to try to get to make sure that we get that taken care of. The other two things that I just want to make you aware of is that last year, this is important for us, not last year, year before last, when they were in session, there was a bill that was presented that would have banned 4-day weeks. Y'all hear that? There was a bill that would ban 4-day weeks. And so if you like the local option, the local control, and the ability for us to choose that, if this community wishes to choose that, then you need to contact your legislator and let them know that you want that to be a local decision and not decided at the state level. There's going to be other bills out there that are going to try to regulate what we can do with our calendar. And I would just say make sure they know how you feel about local control and doing what the community wishes for those districts. Our school board is going to be traveling to Austin in February to actually visit with some of our legislators. And I would encourage you to also reach out to those people who represent you. They don't always want to hear from me as the superintendent of this district, but they do want to hear from the community and the staff of those districts across the state. So make sure that you are reaching out and telling your legislators what you want from them at a state level. So we have some comments now that are coming in on our chat page. So I'm going to read through some of those from Angelica. What does that say? Go Aranza. Okay, go Aranza. Sorry. Here's from Tasha. Love you, Lexi. Lex and R are so well spoken and so classy. Candy Sandoval says, I'm so proud of our band. Thank you to the boosters and the entire team. Charles Lee, for the drum majors, what was the toughest thing to overcome this marching season? My daughter is hoping to be a drum major, as well as any advice to give to her from drum majors. She wants to be just like the girl in red.
Aww.
Do y'all want to?
Well, my best advice for them to be drum majors is to make sure they pay attention to announcements about when that process starts. It'll be in the spring. These wonderful ladies went through the process. They showed up, and we hired, like, one of our judges was from Flower Mound ISD. We had another judge come in too, and so we just had a panel of judges who just listened to them and they interviewed, and there was conducting patterns and stuff they had to learn and all those kinds of things. Do y'all have anything to interject about that? Anything
I think I'm speaking for them, but I can't see their faces. But I'm sure they would be happy to talk to anyone individually that wanted to reach out and talk about becoming a drum major and what that means and what it takes to really be a drum major. So we can make sure that we can connect you. If you want to email us, we'll make sure we pass that email on and get these ladies to respond back, maybe create a little bond there, a little bit of a mentoring situation for our students that want to be drum majors. So we'll do that. If you'll email us, Mr. Lee, and let us know how we can connect them, we would be happy to do that. Are there any other questions, comments? All right, this is your chance. If you have any questions for us tonight, this is your chance to do that. We'll give you just a couple of seconds to get something written down if you're interested in asking a question tonight. If you do want to have any information or additional information from what we've shared tonight, please email us at info@communityisd.org, and we will make sure that you're connected with the right people to get the right answers. As always, we are super excited that you joined us tonight. We always love an opportunity to brag on some of the great things that are happening in our district. We love highlighting our students and our staff members that are doing an amazing job for us. These are the people who make us a great district, and it just, we're so proud of what we have going on here. If I can help you in any way, if you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to email me at tonya.knowlton@communityisd.org. There are no more questions tonight, so I'm going to say thank you for joining us, and we will see you next month for Community Live.